Am I the a-hole for telling my wife I don't care how she drives when it's just her and her kids, but that she must be safe if I or our kids are in the car? My wife had 2 kids before we got married, and their father is actively involved. We have 2 children of our own as well. My wife is a terrible driver, but she refuses to acknowledge it. She has been in multiple accidents and even had her license suspended, not for a DUI or anything like that, but simply because she is a terrible driver. She does things like reaching into the back seat to deal with a child instead of pulling over or letting me or one of the older kids handle it. She got T-boned in August last year because she took her foot off the brake at a red light to pick up my son's soother that had fallen on the floor. She didn't put the car in park. Thankfully, only she was injured. All 4 kids were in the car. I had reached my limit. I told her she was welcome to endanger herself and her older kids if she chose to, but if I was in the car, or if our children were in the car, she needed to keep her eyes on the road and her hands on the steering wheel. She is finally at the point in her rehab where she can drive again. I reminded her of what I had said. I told her that I loved her and that her older kids were important to me, too. But I also told her that if she ever did something reckless while driving again, our relationship would be over, and I would make it part of our divorce that she would not be allowed to drive with our kids in the car. She started crying and said she didn't do it on purpose. I asked her how she accidentally took her hands off the wheel, took off her seatbelt, took her foot off the brake, and turned around to pick up a soother. She said I was treating her like an idiot. I don't think I am. My children have to be safe. Before anyone asks, I try to do as much of the driving as possible. I have stopped drinking completely when we go out so I can always drive. I traded in a car I loved for an SUV so everyone would fit. I offered to pay for Uber so she wouldn't have to drive if I wasn't available. She actually likes driving. Her ex and her parents are on my side. Her ex even told her that if she ever endangered his kids again, he would either go for full custody or request that she be barred from driving with his children. Her parents have threatened to stop helping her pay her extremely high insurance premiums. She thinks we are all being unfair because she loves her kids and would never intentionally harm them. She just loses concentration when one of the kids needs something and doesn't think to ask for help. Update 1. My wife was involved in a single vehicle accident. She was seriously injured, but thank goodness no one else was in the car. I had already spoken to her about her driving habits and warned her. I went to see her in the hospital, and then I went straight to a lawyer. I am going for full custody with only supervised visitation for her. I am sick to death of her driving habits, and I will not wait for her to injure or kill one of our kids because of her behavior. I feel bad doing this while she is in the hospital and facing charges, but I cannot take any more chances. Final update, I don't know how to link my old posts, sorry. Here's a summary, my ex must have had ADHD or something similar. She would be driving and then decide to look in the back seat or on the floor of the car instead of pulling over. She was badly hurt when she took off her seatbelt at a red light to get a soother my child had dropped instead of parking. I told her if she ever did it again, I would divorce her and take custody. She was in physical rehab for a while. Then she drove into a canal by the mall because she didn't put the car in park while reaching into the back seat for paperwork.